Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is good to be back. Good morning, everyone. Martin, Tin Talon, Tactical Printing, Additive Adam, Kittrell, Mike, Nick. Good morning, everybody. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since I've seen you all. And Aaron, good morning. Robin B, hey. 2 weeks since I've seen you all. A little bit rusty. Nathan, good morning. Yeah, coffee time for sure. No coffee for me. I've got some water here, but we'll make do. Little bit of a chill stream today, so I'm hoping that we can engage and get back into the spring of things. See how well you guys are doing. I'll give you a few updates on what's going on with the channel, things like that. Gamer subs, absolutely not. This is water with a little bit of flavoring in there. So the squeezy Kool-Aid things. I like grape. Good morning, Palm. I wish I had some gamer stuff, so I've never tried it. It'd be cool to try some out. Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks. We got the raffle done last time we were on stream, and I got one of those printers out. I still need to get the other one out, so pop away. Haven't forgotten about you. I forgot to print some parts is what happened. So I need to do that and then box it up all nice and neat. But man, things have gone off the chain over the last week. If you guys have been following any of the coverage from FormNext, there's so much to talk about. So many exciting things out there. Zip Fizz is your jam, and thanks for being a member, Additive Adam. A member for 1 month. Awesome. Oh my God, Mike. What did Mike say? You didn't get home until 5:30? Oh my goodness. Are you East Coast time? If that's East Coast time, it is almost 11. So hopefully you got a little bit of sleep before jumping in. Good morning, Kegel. Am I ready to add Vortex to my A1? I don't own an A1. I am ready to play with Vortex on my H2D though. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hey, Mad Al, good morning. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on Vortex, to be honest with you. It looks pretty cool. Boothie, good morning. It looks pretty cool if you had an H2C, but I don't know that it makes sense to upgrade the H2D to Vortex. You don't really gain anything by doing that. Only, I guess you could swap nozzles pretty easily without having to go in the machine and change a bunch of stuff, but the nozzle swapping on the H2D is so easy anyway. It's, 30 seconds and you can go bigger. And the slicer doesn't support printing with multiple size nozzles anyway. So I don't really see an advantage to having a Vortex system right now, unless you didn't already have the H2D. So if you were getting something new, I'd probably go for the H2C over the H2D, unless you needed that extra 20 millimeters in X. I did not make it into the pre-order. It went live when I was still sleeping, and so I wasn't able to get in. And then by the time I found out that it had been released for pre-order, it was already sold out. So unfortunately, no, I didn't. Happy birthday, Nick. Good morning, Liz. We did like 15-hour stream yesterday. Oh, I missed the stream. We were out and about pretty much all day yesterday. We took all the girls to go see Wicked Part 2, and it was okay. It was pretty good. I liked it. Ahoy, Iconic Fab. Good morning. Happy Sunday, Liz. Nick, is it your birthday? Or are we just making fun right now? Hey, DIY Maker Mindset. Good morning. I need to drop in for you all the link for the filament giveaway. Just give me a second here. I totally forgot to do that before we started. So let me open that up for everyone. We get some new LDO filament. And if you like filament, you're gonna need to get in here. I need to actually, let's delete all the old responses. And then we'll open it up for new ones. All right, here you go. Oh man, what happened to my chat? My chat disappeared. Well, Let's start over. Don't worry, you can catch both parts of that stream. Well, happy birthday, Nick. Oh, yep. Still have the raffle thing on, too. So, again, haven't touched streaming at all in the last week. So, a lot of behind-the-scenes things need to be caught up. Just ignore those raffle things. They're not live anymore. Raffle is over as of 2 weeks ago. This is your link for filament right here. So, if you want to try out some LDO filament or you just need extra filament, there's a link right there. We can get into the giveaway to win yourself some LDO filament. Pig G's eyes were barely open by the end of the stream. Yeah. I remember him talking about that. He did like a marathon 24-hour stream or something. Man, I didn't get a chance to get in there, and then by the time we got home, I saw it come up on the feed. But YouTube doesn't always notify me of everything when people are going live. Not accepting entries. That should not be true. Oh, here we go. Try it now. I have to click the save button, actually. Rookie mistake. Let's see if I can get behind the scenes and turn off some of these crazy things that are not available anymore, like the raffle stream. Decided to get it mechanically built and was still a really amazing feat. Remind me, what was he building? What was he doing? I didn't catch any of it yet, so I need to go back and do it. I'll probably be in the shop working on some things, cleaning up out here after stream today. So maybe I'll have it on and we'll just get him some watch hours by having it on in the background. Ender 3 and G, that's what it was. That's what it was. Thanks for that. Yeah, so we need to turn the raffle stuff off because that's not a thing anymore. There we go. Turn that off really quick. And what else? I think we're good. Come on and pop away. I owe you a box. I owe you a package, and I do apologize. I forgot to print some parts for you. I'm doing that today. So thank you for being patient and showing up today. All good now. You guys did great. Yeah, I need to go back and catch some of that stuff. Yeah, nice shirt. I got this in the mail a couple of days ago, and it turns out a large is kind of perfect. So it's very like form-fitting, very nice. A large fits me great. That poor extrusion. What up, Neokoi? Dan, Danny, or Daniel, good morning. There's a link to LDO filament in the chat there, pinned at the top, if that is something you want to add to your Qforge collection. Where's my Pezlia shirt? I don't have one yet. I need to get one. I really do. I'm trying to add to my collection of shirts. So this is the most recent one I got. And then I got Liz stickers, though. Those came in the other day. I got those on your stream. Thank you very much. I just need to find a place to put these. Morning School Army. Everybody in here. But I think we need to talk about some of the news that's going on with all the things and stuff, right? Bunch of new stuff out there. Where's my Neokoi print shirt? I don't know how to get one. If you put me a link, I will get you one. Okay, you don't have one. There you go. That's why I don't have one. I will get one if you drop me a link, though. Tube changer. I don't know what a tube changer is. Is that a tool changer with a couple of tubes on it? I've only got the one tube left over. What do I do with it? Yeah, I just have one spare tube right now, unused, with a 0.5 Undertaker nozzle. So I just got the one tube right now. But I do have a pair of, if I can get these out of here. Come on. I have a pair of Rapido Aces. I thought I was going to use these on the Radrig IDEX build, and that's why I got these. And then I ended up getting a couple of tubes instead, so yeah. Works best on the Darwin. Good morning, Ken Davis. Red Nose says he's brand new to 3D printing. You bought a Bamboo P1S on sale. What are good suggestions? I am interested in CAD. I downloaded a free CAD. What are good suggestions for what exactly? I'm not sure what your question is, Red Nose. Penguin Makers, good morning. Someone's waiting on 6 tubes for the tool changer. There you go. If you want a tube changer, talk to Dan. Danny's got you covered on that one. I don't know that I want to do, what would that be? Like $250 per tube times 6. That's at least $1,000. That's like $1,500. That's an entire printer itself, just in hot ends. Takeoff changer, that would be cool. You have never printed a single thing. What would I suggest? Something fun, something that you enjoy. I just did a big print this week, but I left it in the house. I meant to bring it out here. If you guys really want to see it, I can go grab that, but I posted it in the server. It's just it's an advent calendar, like a Christmas countdown wheel. It is Nightmare Before Christmas themed. So it's got Oogie Boogie, and Sandy Claus is attached to this, basically a dartboard, and it spins to indicate the days left before Christmas. Oh, Tube Compacts? Yeah. Tube Compacts, roughly 150-ish per, and so, yeah, a lot more manageable. About $1,000 for all those. Oh, really? Yeah. So my daughters love Nightmare Before Christmas, and this lady at work was like, hey, I'm looking for something that is Nightmare Before Christmas themed. And I was like, hey, I've got a great idea. I saw it on Maker World. I can try and share that with you all. Here, let me see if we can get over there. Let me pull this up. Maker World. And then I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's probably easier than just trying to describe this thing. Yeah, Aaron, where's your tube changer? But Red Nose, there's a ton of stuff. I will show you here in a second what a good place to start would be. What's this thing called? It's called the Oogie Boogie something. Yeah, here we go. Let me take you guys over here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And for Red Nose, this might be something cool. Every single time, this thing never comes up. 1 second, let's do it. Here we go. Yeah, so this is what I made. And I posted it in the server. And I posted it a couple of other places as well. But I made that. And it's pretty cool. So the wheel that Sandy Claus is on turns. And each day he'll point to a different number, and it's kind of a days until Christmas countdown. And so Red Nose, if you're looking for something cool to print that is multicolor, I'm not sure what printer you have. I think you said a P1S. Yep. Okay, so P1S, I hope you have the AMS. Yeah, so I've already posted in your thing, Liz, so it's already on your server as well. But Red Nose, if you have the AMS, the multicolor here would be great for you. It'll give you a great test. It's, I think, 5 plates and 4 colors at max for that wheel. And yeah, you just kind of spin it, and it's a pretty cool theme. So this is going to be my gift to this lady at work. Printable on your P1S just fine. I chose to do kind of half and half. I printed some of it on my X1 Carbon, the other bits on my H2D, just to save on some filament waste for the larger parts, excuse me, of the prints, and it turned out great. So pretty much the same color scheme that you see in this photo here. The base of mine is a little darker down at the bottom. It's not that light gray. It's a darker, what's it called? A Galaxy from Panchroma. It's around here somewhere. But it's got a lot of glitter flake in it, and it's really dark. Good morning, Clown Hammer. You have the AMS, yeah. So you could do something like this. That's a cool project to do for Christmas, and something that your printer will be very good for doing. Here, I'll drop this in the chat as well. That way it takes you directly to where we are. Try to make it easy for you. There you go. So that's the link to the Maker World. Core 1 build win. Aaron, as soon as I get one. As soon as I get one, I'll do it. And realistically, I'm looking for the Core 1L. The Core 1 normal, I think, is okay. I like the bed on the Core 1L with the magnets and the thick plates. I don't know. I like all of the improvements that they did on the Core 1L over the Core 1. And so as soon as I am in a better financial state, maybe we'll pick one up. Noting that model, very useful. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I try to remember to do that stuff, but it's not always natural for me to be like, oh yeah, here's the link for the thing. So yeah, thanks for asking and that kind of stuff. Keep me honest, guys. Keep me honest. No, we're here to talk about a little bit of what's going on around the 3D printing community today. I do like big printers. I do like big printers. 300s for most of them. The H2D is 320. The S1 is, I think, 340-ish, but it's a circle, so that's a thing. But it's 400 tall, so it's really big. Shipping on the V0 for the charity stream. What do you mean? What was like the cost? I don't know yet. Keep rubbing it in. I have not shipped it yet, but the what was it? The Prusa wire was a lot. I am ashamed to say, but it was a few $100s to ship out the Prusa wire. So that kind of sucked. Zombie really wants an L. So do I. I really want an L. But something new. So next week we're going to partner up with Steve Builds, and we're going to start the Delta Flyer build. So Steve and I have been printing parts. We've been working with CanRog behind the scenes to make sure that things are ready to be printed, and there are updates constantly coming for this printer as far as parts and manuals and documentation and that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, this is the project page for the Delta Flyer. So if you're going to pick one of these up from any of the main resellers, they all have their version of this. You can get yours from, I think Fabrico is doing it. I'm pretty sure West 3D is doing it. All of them are reselling the LDO kit. So KB3D is probably doing it as well. You can go over there and pick one up if you are interested in that kind of thing. There are Black Friday deals going on, all that stuff. And if you get your kit at West 3D, you can use code KillerPrints and get a discount. CanRog the GOAT, I agree. CanRog the GOAT. Follow me on MakerWorld, thank you so much. Red Nose, it helps out also if you subscribe to the channel. That way you get all the content, you can ask all the questions and really kind of engage. Am I doing a TPU Delta Flyer? No, not a TPU Delta Flyer. I'm gonna build it stock for the most part. It's gonna be stock. I do wanna do a boombox. You guys know what a boombox is? So boombox is this extruder. You can find this on, I think it's on Printables, and you can buy it. It is a paid model, but I don't mind supporting creators when they have cool things going out. So this is a boombox. What makes this different is, I think when I first saw this about a year ago, it was in one of the servers, I forget which one, but it's got 2 drive gears on it. So very powerful Bowden tube extruder. And to get a good look at what this looks like, let me scroll. So this is some of the documentation that you can look at for the assembly. But you see it uses 2 stepper motors, 2 NEMA 17s, 2 sets of BMG gears, a metal mounting bracket. This is all the BOM and everything you need. And then when you get down to it, it sort of looks like one of these here. So much cooling just to be able to keep the motors cool. But the parts are pretty simple, not too many. And you can do some color swaps to make it look fancy. The documentation is really well put together. Everything you need to know is in this PDF. And if we get to the bottom here, you'll kind of see what that looks like. And then from the side, you can see how the gears kind of go together. You got 2 sets of drive gears. And it uses sort of like a cam lock where it grabs onto a pin and just really locks the filament in there. Another Delta without finishing the Doron. Steve, I have finished the Doron. It's back there. What I haven't finished is the firmware. And yes, I still got a week. I still got a week to finish it. Don't worry about that. Hey, Petty Ruxman. Fine, do it in TPE. I know the printers from your fellow Canadian neighbor. Yes, Willington. Yeah, this is Rolahan's creation. Yeah, and this is the boombox. I need an extra port, so not recommended version here on the left, this one step stick driver. It does recommend that you have a 2-port Z driver. So if you're going to use one step stick, hopefully you have 2 ports. So like some boards will have a Z1, a Z2, but it uses the same driver. That is also not recommended here. So really what you want is 2 distinct separate drivers to run these. And I think that's because of the way that the amperage is set. I think it's set pretty high, and so if you're trying to do 2 of those on one driver, it's probably too much. I haven't read through all of this yet, but it gives you all the documentation that you need and a bunch of checks and troubleshooting stuff, so it's really well done, and I'm excited to try to put this on. But again, we're gonna do stock first. We're gonna do stock first, and then we'll see how it goes. That's not a portable stereo. Liz is giving away a Doron on Thursday. That's right. So Liz, friend of the channel and most beautiful one in the chat this morning, she is doing a Thanksgiving stream on her channel on Twitch. And there are a ton of prizes, very similar to what we did for the raffle, except this one is free. There are no tickets to buy or anything like that. A bunch of vendors, a bunch of stuff. Liz, feel free to spam the chat with all the things. You're a mod, so if you want to drop a link to your channel in there, please do. But if there are things and stuff in there, go check out Liz and hopefully you win something. Good morning, Steve from Frankfurt. It's one of my favorite places in the world. I did a deployment to Frankfurt for about 6 months when I very first started. I was all but 18 years old. I had a fantastic freaking time in Frankfurt, Germany. Living out there for 6 months was the highlight of my 18-year-old life. But yeah, so Steve just posted in chat, member for 2 months. We're gonna start doing this next week. And all the documentation seems to be pretty cool. There's a temporary build manual, there's a wiring diagram, main board manual with all the documentation that you would need. It even gives you profiles and a config to start with. So I think what I'll do is we'll start with stock stuff and then move on from there. Here's a few like real images for this stuff. And then maybe we throw a boombox on it later. I probably need to modify the bracket. I think the mounting locations for where that bracket mounts onto the printer itself is different than what the boombox has. And so I need to figure out either A, an adapter, or B, a different mounting solution for that. So maybe I just drill some new holes into the mounting bracket or something. We'll figure it out when it gets here. But all those parts are coming from Ali. They should be here in a week or so. Can we go back to partial CAD only? Oh, to make it really challenging? I mean, you can do whatever you want, just like select all and delete, and then try to figure it out from a box of parts, if that's what you really want to do. So that's one thing. You can get all these at all of these normal vendors here. So if you're interested, these are all the authorized vendors. Go here, pick your favorite, and yeah, support the cause. So that's kind of 2 updates. The other one is, if you guys didn't know, the P2S is now for sale in America. So for, I don't know, a couple of months now, at least a couple of weeks, this thing has been out. We've known about it, but you couldn't buy it in the States. And so we were trying to convince Liz to just start bootlegging P2Ss across the Canadian border. I don't know that that really worked out, but it's irrelevant now because you can get them. They seem to be in stock. If you want the P2S combo, it's only $800. And that's with the no Black Friday deals or anything like that. So stock, $800 for the AMS2 and a P2S, which gets you 90% of the way to an X1 Carbon. So pretty cool. Yeah, we're asking about how was Formnext. Yeah, Steve, I would love to see the aftermath of Formnext. So I'm excited to see what you got to say on how that was. It seemed crazy. I've watched as much content as I could on Formnext, but it seemed to be like, once you get into a couple of hours of Formnext recap content, whatever, it seems like we get into repetition. And so, of course, it's Index, right? That's the other one that's out. And that one, the website, the website was not even working for a while, and that was another reason I couldn't pre-order, because the website just wouldn't work to allow me to get to the page. It would just sit there and spin, and so I wasn't even able to get in. But this is Index, if you don't know. And really what it is it is a system that makes your current printer into a tool changer. Right now there seems to be support for the Core 1, Core 1L from Prusa, and then maybe some Voron support. I saw that on one of the channels. And then everything else right now, I think you're just gonna have to figure it out for yourself. Figure out what mounting system you're gonna use for your particular printer. But this is a very cool system that uses induction heating on the nozzles to get nozzle temperatures really quickly. And so it's super cool from what I can tell. And there's a video, but I don't know if it's gonna be like super loud or whatever. So this is what it looks like. Empower your 3D printer. Yeah, so if you have a printer with a gantry that moves like that, this seems like a pretty easy adaptation. You got a C1 index kit? Nice. Why don't you just send it over to me? I'll put it to you, so you know you're not going to use it anyway. So yeah, that's Index. So that was something cool. This was another one. The other one everybody's talking about is the H2C, and this was the Vortex system we were talking about earlier. Wonder what the setup process will be like on the new Core 1. Yeah, same. I would love to try that out and see that. You got a Core 1 Index ordering? Nice, Steve. I think you had Index anyway though, right, Steve? You were talking, I saw an interview with you where you were talking about having it on Trident, I believe. But it sounds really cool. But I'm kind of with Aaron. I think the H2C is a little bit overhyped. If you did not have the H2D, the Delta version, showing it off on Wednesday, I'll be there. I'll be there Wednesday. Wednesday's a half day for me. So I need to reach out to you anyway to talk about next week. So I'll make sure to DM you later today and just respond whenever you get time. I know you're out of the country, so not a big deal. Steve Bills has a secret index. I don't doubt it. Steve has all the cool toys. Not gonna say I'm jealous, but I'm a little bit jelly. But yeah, we're talking about the H2C. So this is what it looks like. I have the Delta, the H2 Delta, and it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. It does save a lot of filament waste when you're switching between two nozzles only. So if you're doing a 2-color print, which is most of the time what I do, you pretty much have no waste. There's going to be a small purge block there and just the normal, prime poop at the beginning, and that's really it. Very simple to use, very easy. The AMS2 is pretty awesome. It's got the built-in dryer and things like that. And so very cool for dual color printing when you just want to add some accent to your printer parts, or you want to do, I don't know, some sort of plate or bracket and the wording to be a different color. Really, really easy for that kind of stuff. But when you start to do other things like a HueForge, for example, and you need 4, 5, 6 colors, you're going to have a little more waste, still less than what you would see on an X1 Carbon or a P1S, P1P. So that said, the H2D is a little bit more complicated. You have nozzle swapping and stuff, but you still have to purge that filament from the AMS. So it's still going to cost you the same amount of time. It's still going to cost you the same amount of filament that you would normally see on the H2C. Maybe you don't have to purge as much, but that initial one, let's say you have a nozzle that has red in it and you're trying to use that same nozzle in a different print for, I don't know, white, you're still going to have to purge that initial time before that nozzle becomes the white nozzle, for lack of a better term. And so if you stick to the same color, you're probably going to save some filament there. But again, I think the H2D price-wise is a little better. I don't know who the H2C is for, unless you got the extra cash. So it is what it is. And then if you get the ultimate set, you're upwards of $2,800, $2,900. And then if for some crazy reason you want the 40-watt laser combo, you're paying $3,600 for that. Little much, in my opinion, for what this is. You could get a 3D printer and a laser and still be under this price tag. So Your money, do what you want to do, but can't really recommend it for most people. More noisy than the rest of the printer. Very beta, but to get a successful print wasn't too bad. Okay. Pretty great for other support materials. Yeah. So again, if you have you're printing with 2 different filaments, great for support material. I do some of that with the whole PLA with PETG supports and vice versa. H2D is great for that. H2C regular might be okay for that, but again, it is what it is. H2C has the filament savings of a tool changer with longer print speed, but can do 7 colors. Yes. So there are advantages, right? So it's really going to be niche on your use case. You're consistently printing with 7 colors and you want like an all-in-one machine with less complexity and you just want to hit print. Maybe this is for you. If you're not doing that stuff and you sometimes do dual color or sometimes do multicolor, maybe don't do that. Maybe get the Delta instead. So we're looking at just standard, right? Let's go H2C, standard, no extra nozzles or anything like that. You get just what the print is for. You're paying $2,400. But if you get the Delta version, standard, combo, it's $2,000. So you're saving yourself $400 with a similar capability. So again, it's your money, do what you want to do with it. But make sure that it matches with what you're trying to print. If you don't need to print with 7 colors all the time, probably go away from that. Ooh, let's see, trying to catch up here. At $3 grand for the base unit, plus proprietary nozzles, very expensive for what it is. Yes, very expensive. Try running TPU and PLA in the same print in H2C, it's worthless. But Index can do it, yeah. I think I'm more on the tool changer game. I'm much more into the Index system, much more into the tool changing system if I'm going to do that kind of stuff. I'll be honest with you, I don't do multi-material prints that often, where you are combining 2 different materials into one. Really, the only time I'm doing that is when I'm doing, again, that support trick where you can use PETG supports on PLA prints or vice versa. That's really the only multi-material stuff I've done, and I can't see myself really doing any different things than that other than just testing it to see if it can do it. So the whole, nylon with TPU inserts and stuff like that, that's not really the types of things that I print, so it doesn't really fit for me. But I could see how it may satisfy a niche for someone. Should do a buy Lowesbot? I should. Aaron, actually, the Lowesbot, their newest machine is already clipperized. I forget the name of it right now. We can look at it, but they have a Lowesbot with clipper on it. I forget the name. I saw it last year at Rocky Mountain. Hey, Thunder Keys, good morning. Haven't seen you in a while. How are things? I think it's the Taz 8. I don't remember. But I will say, unless you're printing 2.85 filament, a Taz is one of the only machines that's obtainable in the hobby market that's going to be able to print something like that. Maybe it's the XT. I don't remember. But one of these has clipper on it. Next gen, yeah, it doesn't specifically say it, but they are very expensive for what they are. Yeah, Taz 8, $5 grand. That's a lot. The Mini 3, $1,700. But one of these has clipper on it. I want to say it's these top 3 Taz 8 ones here and the Mini 3. I think these are the ones that have clipper. Not sure it's a print farm machine. The tool change is too slow. Yeah, haven't got an H2C yet. Guessing mostly print farms are going to be using it. Maybe. H2C is hard to place. Like, it's hard to say who that machine is exactly for. I'm trying to think of what else cool that I remember seeing. Big Tree Tech had some stuff. The Panda Breath actually made it on their website. So I did see that, although it's not available to purchase, it's on the site now. So if you went to BQ, you could see it. And it really is just an add-on module for Bambu Lab printers to add a heated chamber. So this is it here. So you can add this to your X1 or P1 and it will heat your chamber. I've already got a chamber heater in mine. It's been in my X1 Carbon for probably over 2 years at this point, and it works great. I got it on AliExpress, 2 years ago. It was like 40 bucks, 45 bucks, and it connects into the power supply, and it's been great. I think this is sort of the same thing, probably a little more polished, a little more refined, but you can see it's not available yet. You can sign up to be notified, but I mean, unless you're printing ABS or ASA or maybe some nylon, probably don't need this accessory. Or you're kind of like I am, all of my stuff is in the garage. It gets really cold out here. Having a normalized chamber, something that is steady at 35C, can help your prints be a little better. But again, I'm waiting to see any info on this other than just saying it exists. Boothie Builds, what you got cooking? Boothie has been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I won't ruin it for him, but if he wants to share, go ahead and share. The E3D shear thinning nozzle. Shear thinning? Well, I don't know what that is. 2 times the price and build volume is smaller than H2D. I agree. Boron with index will still work out cheaper than the Bambu and Prusa Core 1L multicolor. Don't disagree with you, Steve. But I'll say that boron with a tool changer is going to be more complex and is DIY. So it's also not for everyone. If you don't know how to get around Clipper, if you don't know how to build yourself a printer config that's going to work, if macros are not really your thing, it'll be a little bit of a learning curve to get into that, and not everybody's at that level. So it depends on if you want a DIY or you want something off the shelf. And if you want something off the shelf ready to go, you're gonna have to pay for that because someone put in the work, and then you'd be compensated for the time. E3D shear thinning nozzle. Not sure what that is. Let's Google that. E3D shear thinning nozzle. Not sure what that is. I saw that they had a obsidian thing. Is that what you're talking about? Like this right here? They also have the Diamondback version, which is never going to explode, hopefully. But it's got diamond tips on it, so you can print just about anything forever and ever, amen. That's your only concern. You love the custom stuff, but it's not for everyone. Bambu fills the gap nicely. Hopefully, upcoming tool changer will be reliable. I don't disagree with you. The only upcoming tool changer that I can think of is the Snapmaker U1. From what I've seen people say, it sounds cool. I know Danny has one, but I have no experience, and I'm hoping that it is as nice as what has been advertised. I'd rather build my own, though. I'm much more of a DIY kind of person. Although having one, just work out of the box is interesting. I don't know that I have a need for it. I've got the H2D, I've got the X1 Carbon, and something special over here. So, yeah, I'm really not sure what you mean, Aaron, with the thinning nozzle thing. Orbiter projects. Go. Let's see what you dropped in here. Wondermaker Z art? No thanks. Oh, the twist nozzle thing. Is that what you're talking about? At the bottom of the page? Yeah, so this twist nozzle thing sounds pretty cool. I like that. But before I forget, these did come out as well. This is another thing that's new right now. These work on the H2D, P2S, and I want to say they have a version for the A1 and A1 Mini. But these are Obsidian, so high flow and wear resistant. But they are expensive. It's 90 pounds per nozzle. H2D takes 2. So get your checkbooks out. What is this one? So the nozzle thing, I want to see more about that. Bottom of the page. Okay, let's go. Okay, it looks like a key. You can just put a key in there. Brand new super high flow nozzle concept, the twist flow nozzle. Is that what you meant? Twist flow? Curling up effect. Okay. So CHT, for those that don't know, it's a nozzle that has basically 2 ports. So it bifurcates the filament, or sometimes cuts it into 3. So I guess trifurcate. Separates 1 strand of filament into 3 and then brings it back together at the nozzle. TFN looks like it just sort of squeezes it, like cuts it, and then expands it out again. Kind of like this picture here. That's kind of cool. So at the very bottom, they were contacted by E3D. Right here. I think I read this a while ago. Yeah, so they were kind of working on similar stuff at the same time, and then they found out that E3D had a patent. And so they agreed to work together. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I think I've read through this at some point. But yeah, just a different way to do the same thing. It looks like the TFN, according to this picture, flows a little more. You get a much smoother extrusion than the CHT, but I mean, I would need to see that in real life. Oh, I've got one of these Orbiter 3 things that I've never used yet. I need to find a project for that. But yeah, this just looks like a key. It's so cool. So not at the tip. Oh, inline shear thinning technology, so not at the tip. Okay. Twist and flow. Zombie back the Wonder Bread tool changer. Yeah, I know. I've been watching Zombie on stream and watching his crazy Wonder Maker ZR. I would have put that thing in the front yard. And be really pissed that it showed up and doesn't work. That sucks. But that's the risk you take when you back something on Kickstarter. You're always taking a risk that it's not going to work as advertised, or it may not be ready for prime time. And so if that happens, when that happens, you know, you got to suck it up and cut your losses, or take it for what it is. Maybe the frame is valuable and you can do something else with it, or the electronics are valuable, we can put those into something else. Hate to see it, and that sucks sometimes, but you know, cut your losses and recover the parts you can. But I think that's enough of that. I want to show you guys something cool. You guys want to see something cool? Luckily, the tool changer version isn't shipped yet, so they have time to fix issues. Yeah. Hey, DJ Midnight Wolf. Have some time to fix issues. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Like, I don't wish ill on them, but I mean, they had to have known that they weren't sending out a product that was ready. Like, in a lab where everything is controlled and perfect and you have engineers that know exactly what they're doing, they can get it to work. But for the average common user, it sounds like they should have sent this to beta testers and asked them to provide real world feedback. And I don't know if that happened. Time to build a Prusa Mini into a Core XC. Go for it, man. Go for it. I do have a Mini Bear kit over here. So if you have a Prusa Mini and you would like to make it a Mini Bear, reach out to me, see if we can make a deal here. You can make money selling your half-baked ideas. Yeah, you can make money like bamboozling other people into buying a product that's not ready to ship yet. Have I got some doozies? Yes. I think the only one that I got that really wasn't great out of the box, what was it? The FL Sun S1. But that wasn't a Kickstarter. That was directly off their site. But it was the whole, like, here's, you know, the S1, really beta, and then all of the things that didn't work that the community kind of figured out and helped with, they then released the S1 Pro and wanted to charge like more than the S1 for it. I think that was dirty and it pissed me off, and I mean, it kind of ruined FL Sun for me. I mean, I have it printing okay now. It's still clogged the other day and I haven't messed with it since, but I've got it printing okay at this point. Ironically, they did, but the beta tested. Yeah, so, well, if you send stuff out to get feedback, you have to be willing and open to accept that and change things. If you don't, then you've just wasted a bunch of money sending printers to beta testers. Testing is what I do for work. Like, we test aerospace stuff all the time. Human systems integration, weapon system integration, just all of the interface type stuff where a user would use whatever item, widget, gadget that they install on an airplane. We're running it through its paces with the mindset that, hey, I'm a normal person trying to use this. Is it user friendly? Does it do exactly what it's supposed to do? Does it do it in all conditions? Does it perform as advertised when things go wrong? What happens if I do this? What happens if I do that? All of those questions are what I do for work, right? And so I understand it probably a little better than some folks, but it does. The whole only reason that stuff works is because the feedback we provide is listened to, it's heard, and our experience matters, okay? And so if those things don't matter to whatever company is out there asking these questions and they just want to throw money at it and then ignore you, I mean, it's their loss, but your company is not going to do well, especially if you release a product that doesn't work. Beta testers don't matter. Yeah, hashtag beta testers don't matter. We should put that on a t-shirt. BDA testing? What is that? What is BDA testing? Only for half-baked ideas, Wonder Bread. Yeah. Yeah. But we did get a couple of new things in the shop, and I wanted to share that with you all. Let me move this over. You'd buy a shirt? Well, lucky for you, Aaron, in the description, there should be a bunch of links to shirts and swag and all that stuff. So if you want to buy a shirt, you can go over there. You can get all the shirts you need. You don't want a tool changer system at the moment because it's so new. I don't disagree with your sentiment. I think for me, I need to see it. I need to see it working. I need to hear from people that I trust that it is good and it's worth it. Once I get that warm fuzzy, I can adopt whatever that system is. And until that really happens, I'm hesitant as well. So I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Let me get back to my screen over here. Okay, let's take a look at something. I got in the mail the other day this. Seems a lot of beta testing these days across industries is influencer testing. Yeah. Musaka, I don't know if that's a bad thing or not specifically. I think so. Influencer has sort of like a negative connotation. If the only reason that person exists is to sell you a thing and they have no credibility, then yeah, it can be a little shady. But for credible people that make content on the internet and they are sent products and they can provide their honest feedback on what that product is, how good it is or not, then I think I'm okay with that. And so that's what I'll say about the influencer thing. But again, I would want that person to like really use the machine, abuse it, see if they can break it, figure out the limb facts, and then report that information. Zombie has one of these. Yes, I know. We shared information last night. Like to live on the edge, build from almost nothing, high risk, high reward. There you go, Robin. I really do like building machines, but every once in a while, you need something that just works. Okay, for me, my first just works machine was the X1 Carbon over there. It's about 7,000 hours, starting to get a little long in the tooth. This came out. It is only 5 something. We were just looking at it a minute ago. I did not get the AMS combo. We were just looking at this a minute ago. So let me see here. Let's P2S. So 549. These are only 549 right now. No AMS. I have 2 AMSs I got for the H2D, and then I decided like, well, I lied. The H2D, I got the combo. It came with an AMS2. I got a second AMS2 that I was going to sort of use on my H2D when I needed more than 4 colors, but it ended up living on my X1 Carbon because it's a better AMS than the AMS1. But I find myself printing single color on my X1 Carbon more than I do multicolor. So I'm going to pull that off of there, throw it on this P2S, and this will be my newer multicolor small machine that I can use to just batch out stuff in parts. We're getting into that season where I need more capability, and multicolor is kind of a theme. And so I just need a better machine. My X1 Carbon is pretty, it's getting clapped out. Even though I've kept up the maintenance and all that kind of stuff, I'm noticing some weird stuff. And so I want to make sure that I'm able to continue doing what I do. So here we go, brand new P2S. $549 for this. The reason I got it is because if I think about it, I've already replaced the carbon gantry on the X1 Carbon. That was $90. New build plate, maybe 20 bucks. I had to do a new, what was it? New belts, new tool head, new extruder, new hot end, new idlers. Yeah, and so like all of the maintenance parts and pieces that I've added to that machine over the last year just to keep it going in the 7,000 hour range is roughly, I don't know, $300 to $400. Another 150 bucks, you can just get one of these. And so I'm just kind of over the point of, you know, dumping money into a 3-year-old printer. And this one is 90% of an X1 Carbon anyway, so it makes a lot of sense. You got the AMS high temp, might be good if you just use one color. I also have one, it's over there on my H2D. I can show you here, let's spin this way. It's sitting right there. So we've got the AMS2, and then the high temp is here. That's the FL Sun, which is in the corner in timeout. And then the rat rig is here. This is my old AMS, the original from the X1 Carbon. And then I've got another one over there that I turned into a Python. And so let me switch this back. Sorry for the shaky. Oh, and then also too, like I needed zip ties. So I went to Amazon and I got some zip ties. I didn't really read it. I thought it was 100. It's actually 1,000. So I got 1,000 zip ties in the mail. I was pleasantly surprised. They were only like $10, I think, for 1,000 zip ties. So now I'll just never, I'll never run out. But yeah, I have an AMS high temp. I use it for PPS CF and nylon, which I'll do every so often. Can we just appreciate the fit though? Yeah. Oh, you like this? You like my zombie shirt with my gym shorts and my Crocs and socks? That's the Killer Prince Garage outfit there. Fabricating the Nix Flip prototype. Ooh, I need to see this. Here, let's share it with the world, Boothie, since you dropped it in. Let me pull up your link here. Look at that. So if you're not familiar, Boothie is designing a printer called Flip. It's supposed to be a foldable, very compact sort of printer, and it's a portal printer. So the gantry moves to and fro on the y-axis here, and the bed is static. And then of course your tool head will move in X. So it's supposed to be foldable, so you can pack it away. All of the silver stuff is CNC cut, and it's got a lot of parts from, you know, a bunch of different places. Boothie could tell you more about it, but this is kind of what he's been sharing behind the scenes, and this is what we're talking about right now. Still gonna get one of you streamers to make a thong so you can have your complete YouTube streamer outfit. Mike, there's already one on my shop. Have at it. Actually, I don't even know if I can get to, one sec. I don't know if I can get to my, this stream is, I didn't fully set it up. So maybe there's not a link to the store in there. Let me see real quick. Nope, sure didn't. I'll get you one. Now then you can buy all the swag you want. So, no one needs to see that. You love that. Need to finish your own design. Yeah, the portal printer is really, really cool. Really, really cool. Get you guys a link. Sorry. Back to dashboard. Here you go. So if you want to go check out the store and pick up some Killer Pinch swag and look as cool as I do in the garage, there you go. You can go there and get all the swag you want. And then also we gotta figure out who we want to raid into at the end of this. I think I can set that up still. Yeah, let's get this thing out of the box. I've been wanting to play with this for a couple of days. So I got this on Wednesday. Order was placed Wednesday, and it showed up Thursday at like 10 o'clock in the morning. So less than 24 hours later, this was here. So they are in stock and they're in the States pretty close by. I live in the SoCal area, and it was less than 24 hours this arrived at the house. So if you want to get one, I think now's the time before it turns into Black Friday and Christmas and all that. Standard quick start guide, stuff like that. I'm sure it's fine. There's some stickers in there. What else? Warranty and whatever. We don't need that. All right, what's up here? Sorry, my camera got moved. Let's try to keep you in frame a little bit. Raid in the Shadow Legends, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. No, I was trying to think of who else is streaming today. Usually Steve streams after me, so I set it up to raid into him, but he's at Formnext, so probably not streaming today. PTFE tube, and then we have the printer itself. So I may need to take this down to be able to reach in here. Of course, we'll keep the box in case we need to send it back for warranty purposes, but yeah, my shoulders are too wrecked to pick that up. So let me take this down, and then I'll put it up top for you. Check it out. Yeah, my shoulders have been giving me hell the last couple days. At least it's not heavy. And the rest is just an empty box. So we'll put that to the side, put it in long-term storage to get back to it at a different time and place. There we go, there's your P2S. Mellow DP5 board LDO positron PSU brick, which stores in a plinth tray. PSU you have to be tested to see if powerful enough. If not, the new LDO compact PSU, posi display, and CM4. If you just point your phone at you sleeping on the couch, does it count? Yes, it does actually. It absolutely does. There are channels out there where it is, I don't know, pets. Like, I'm trying to think of what it, like squirrels. So people will have a garden cam or something like that, and they'll put food out for animals, squirrels, birds, whatever, and then just live stream it. There's literally something for everyone. All we do over here is play with printers. Show of hands, who wants to continue looking at you on camera? Oh, posi display. Yeah, dude, I like the posi display. That thing is pretty cool. I want to add that to a couple of other printers. I do really like the, I really like how it's just USB, and then it'll talk to whatever you want. So you can plug it into something that doesn't have a screen, and you'll automatically have one. So I've been thinking about putting one on the rat rig because that doesn't have a screen, and I'm really hesitant to attach something to the outside of the machine. I tend to bump it, or it sort of just gets in the way. And so if I can have something that connects and disconnects, it's great. I do have the big Tree Tech, whatever thing, the little mountable display thing that you can put anywhere that runs on USB, but it only works on Wi-Fi and it's very limited. It doesn't have the full clipper screen capability. And so it's not the best, but it does work. I'm already noticing that there's a lot of things that are very similar to this H2D I've got over here. So the handles under the side, they're very low. You can't really see under there, but there's a place to put your hand. This is not the case on the X1 Carbon. It is flat across. So to be able to get under there, you've got to tip the machine back, grab under like a sharp corner edge, and lift it that way. Luckily, it's not heavy, but having these nice handle pockets down here is Great. I love it. And then of course, well packed, as all bamboo things are. Hey, Robert Brown, good morning. Your cats love those squirrel streams. I bet they do. I bet they do. Yeah, my wife is fighting with the squirrels all the time. She's a gardener, and they like to eat her plants and dig in her flower pots and stuff. So she likes to chase them off the backyard. We've got like a brick wall back fence kind of deal, and you can see them like trotting across the top of the wall. And so she's out there, you know, with onion spray and all these like very pungent things to try to get them to not come around. And they still come around. They just wait for her to leave. But it is funny to watch the battle happen. Ugh. Well, there's another Streamlabs thing we gotta turn off. Let's see, onion spray. Now you're hungry? Sorry if that's very loud. This tape is strong. Yeah, there's like a fart spray thing that I saw as well. It's on Amazon. It's like $15, but it's some super fart spray. And the funny thing is, it's like made in the US, and it's labeled as such, and so like it's all tariff free and everything. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I don't see where this one here. Turn that off. Let me see, what else can I turn off? 38 elves is off. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Like and subscribe. That's right. But yeah, I want to get this unboxed. I've been waiting to do this stream for 3 days. Didn't want to unbox it. My youngest likes to help me unbox things, and she's always out here like cutting tape and stuff, and I had to stop her from doing this one. She really wanted to. She really wanted to. Well, we had to save it for stream. So we'll get a print going on this, and I would expect that it's nothing special. It works just like the X1 Carbon or the P1P, P1S. Man, the tape that they use is a lot. But it's good. There's no residue after taking the tape off, so that's good. And top glass, same as the X1 Carbon. It looks the same. Rounded at the back, square at the front. Yeah, it looks the same. We'll put that over there somewhere safe. And we get into all the boxes of goodies. So they have this toolbox that it normally comes with, and there's Allen keys and grease and a blade and things like that in there. Cool. We'll save that for later. And what is this? Oh, it's a screen. There we go. So we know that's going to go on there. That's pretty self-explanatory. Put it in, slide it over. Make sure you plug it in. We'll do that in a second. Power cord, we're going to need that. And then spool holder. I don't use my spool holder a lot. I preferred to just use the AMS, and then I had a separate spool holder that sat here on the side of the machine. Just trying to reach around to the back and like put that spool on the X1 Carbon was not ideal. I'm thinking this one is a lot more like the the H2D, where it just clips onto the back and sticks out to the side. And I think that works a lot better. So this should, let's see if we can spin this around. Try it. Oh, I will on this one, yeah. Ooh, you see those feet? I like that. Yeah, this one, it's got this clip here. It just sort of slides on. And then this goes under? No, on top? Like that. There's a little arrow that you probably can't see, but it's embossed into the plastic. Ooh, there's like a little pad on the end of there too to make it all soft. I think that goes like that. There we go. Does it go like that? And then it'll come through and up? Or does this go in the bottom? That's where the instructions come into play that we didn't read. I have no idea. I think it goes that way. Let's see, does it come off? Yeah, there's a minus here. There's an arrow on the vertical piece. There's an arrow here, so I think it goes that way. But I do like this better than the X1 Carbon already. The X1 Carbon came straight out the back. And so when you had your spool of filament, you'd put it on like this. But that's hard to do when you have this on a rack. And so having it on the side like that is much better. Allows you to get to it versus back here where you can't. So good. I do like that. That's all the goodies in the top of this guy. We could pull the rest of this tape off of here. Should be able to get down inside. Again, no AMS inside. I did not spring for that. I thought it was unnecessary, especially since we have a set here already. That is on there. They did give us that PTFE tubes, right? So we've got these. Doing my best to try to stay out of the way of the camera here. That spool holder on the other side, yours. So there's two here. There's like a short one and a long one. I think this short one goes from the filament tube down here into the top of the machine here, like this. And so that's for your external spool. And then you have a longer one for something else. Maybe this is for your AMS. So like if you had an AMS, you would connect in here, and then this goes into the AMS to keep that pretty short. I thought maybe it was that new fancy star-shaped PTFE, but no, it's the typical round stuff. Looks like a 3mm inner diameter stuff. So normal PTFE is just dark, smoked, if you will. We'll need that in a second. This is the screen. I think I know where that goes. We'll worry about tools later. What else? Let's go inside of here. Ooh. So there's still more tape holding something across the bottom. The feet have the new feet. The X1 Carbon really didn't. It had just like plain rubber solid feet, and then later they came out with these other inserted feet that are supposed to be better somehow, but they didn't really stay in the machine. So if you ever moved it or tried to slide the machine, the feet would pop off. Feet on this one stays. Yes, that was me, sorry. Yeah, we're moving things around, and I hit the wall. So the wife came out and was like, "Hey, what is that? What's banging on the wall?" She knows how I work. All right, so that's all of the tape. See down inside there, a couple of zip ties that we're gonna have to cut away, bits of foam and stuff like that. But this is typical packaging for how Bambu Lab does their stuff. Let's do a snip. Oh, never mind. I must have connection in the connector. Those will to ask zombie. What? Is that spool holder on the other side? What? So the Bowden tube doesn't go to the tool head. It does. Yeah, it's up here. It's a two-piece. Sorry, it's a two-piece. Yeah. So in the back, it just goes in a little bit and then picks up again and kind of comes around. I love the orange cable inside of here for the tool head now, though. The one on my X1 is black. The one on the H2B is also black. I like the orange. And from what I understand, a lot of the Bambu products from BQ will work on this. I know build plates are probably the same. There's likely some other stuff. We'll see. We'll see. Zip ties, there's a bit of foam here, so that should move. Okay, we can get the foam out. Save that, add that to the box. The feet fall off if you slide it around. They did on the other one, so they had these like, I don't know, they're very like spongy, bellow looking feet that you could add onto your X1 Carbon, but they just slot in. There's no like mechanical attachment for that. These kind of make the printer bounce if I slide it. But sitting like that, you can see it sort of wobbles. That's not the bench. That's the printer itself is wobbling like that. My H2D does the same, but it's because it has these different feet. So these feet are very like spongy, but they're attached. So that one kind of came out. We'll put that one back in, but they're you know, wedged in there pretty good where they're not going to move. Bottom is basically the same as the X1 Carbon over there, and probably the P1P and P1S. But I do like that. So we have steel rods now. The cover on this is darker. So this is a darker gray to match the outside. On the X1 and in fact the P1, oh sorry, the H2D, it's a lighter gray, almost like a white. So I'm liking the little bit of updates and touches to this thing. And then I don't know if you can see that in the back, the way that the filament poops out now has the retraction system. So it presses back on this lever and you can see it shoots out. So when the tool head comes back, it'll purge into the slot, move away, and then flick it out the back. That's very similar to how the H2D does it. You have a strange question. Do you see holes where you can move spool holder to the other side? I think the P2S combo has spool holder on the other side. Let's see. Let's learn together, Kevin. If you're thinking about making something, I think that's a question. Yeah, I don't see anything. Mine is nothing there. And if I remove this, there's just a couple of mounting screws. So I think, Kevin, there's no way to add it either. It looks like there are two mounting screws over here that hold that bracket on in the same location that it would be on the X1 Carbon. So realistically, you could print this, design this little bracket thing, attach it where the normal spool holder would be, buy one of these from Bamboo, and then you'd have the similar capability on your P1P, P1S, and X1 Carbon. I may end up doing that. That's a good idea. And that just slides on, but yeah, no other location here. Look at that handsome devil. Yeah, who are we talking about? K2 Kevin, right? Handsome devil. Hey, MakerMind Nexus, good morning. I saw that you did an impromptu stream the other day. Sorry I wasn't able to pop in. We were out and about all day yesterday. Just trying to move it around without wrecking my shoulders. Your spool holder is on the other side. Maybe this is the American version. I don't know. I don't know. On my on all of my Bamboo machines, the spool holder is always on this side. So the H2D is over here, the X1 Carbon's over here, although it's in the back. This is not the combo. Not the combo. I didn't think it would be different. I thought it would be the same machine, except one's with an AMS and one is not. Do you think that's the difference? Do you think that the combo would make, I don't know, the machine itself a little different? But yeah, there's no like buffer in the back or any of that stuff. I hope it allows me to add an AMS. If not, not the end of the world. Like I said, I don't do a ton of multicolor anyway. I really wish they would have fixed the door. So one of the complaints that us Bamboo users have always had with our P1Ss and Carbons is the door only opens to 90. This one gets maybe a little further, but it's still, that's as far as it goes. So as I walk by, bam, I'm gonna hit that. Like, make it open all the way flat, like 180. I wish they would have fixed that. Thanks for the sub, One Pocket. It is strange. Maine is Canada now. Yes, Maine is basically Canada. You guys can have it. I guess keep water out. Maybe we can reuse this. I don't know. I never like to throw desiccant out. I'll dry it. Calcium chloride. Ooh, so that's the good one. Yeah, we'll hold on to that and just dehydrate it and reuse it for filament or something. We'll put it in one of the AMSs. Try to get a good view here. We need to attach a screen, but first I think I want to, how do I get this off? Oh, that's fancy. It's like lead screw. I don't even know how to describe that. Lead screw brackets? I don't know. They clip into the top. I do like to see though that the top of the lead screws are covered now. They're not open, so they're not going to collect filament in there like they do on the X1 Carbon. I'm trying not to get my hands all greasy by touching this thing. But it's definitely lubricated from the factory. Oh no, there's no fan either. I didn't know that. So, oh man. I thought I was being really smart. But look, there's no aux fan. I literally thought this was the same exact machine, but no AMS. But not only does it not have an AMS, there's also not an aux fan, although there is mounting points for it. I do believe there's like a recirc fan. I mean, I can see that on the inside over here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy one now. No problem. Took the dive for Black Friday and got your first printer yesterday. P1S combo, hoping to learn some stuff. Nice. You'll have to let us know how you like it. I think, from what I've heard, people really like their P1Ss and things like that. The only reason to get one of these instead of the P1S is if, I don't know, you hate the screen. I think that was the biggest complaint I heard, was that people didn't like the screen on that one. But if you print from the web, it shouldn't be a big deal. Most of my printing is from the web anyway, so I would not use the screen very much. I only use the screen to change filaments, the location of the filament in the AMSs. What about the other side? The other side does have the, let me make some room. It's got the chamber recirculation fan. I think that's what it's called, right? Yeah, it's got, yeah, you're not gonna be able to see it. Hold on. You can see it in there. This guy. There's a fan in there. Try not to pop the feet off, sliding this thing around. It does have the carbon filter in the back. That's what this tape was doing, was holding the cover on so it doesn't pop out, but it sort of popped it out. Oop, don't break it on day one, come on now. Yeah, we got the giant filter in here. Big carbon filter, foam around the edges. It's also a side blower. Yeah, tracking. So side blower, air recirculation, all the things. But yeah, that's in there. I wish it had the chamber heater that the X2D has. That would be really cool. So in this location back here where the filter is, that's where the chamber heater is on the H2D. I think to get this foam out, I'm gonna have to raise the bed, so we'll probably have to power on and that kind of thing. I'm gonna get these out. No, those are kind of wedged in there under the bed. Okay, so we're probably ready to power this on. Let me get the screen on, and then we'll do that so we can raise up the heat bed. Yeah, but it's got me wondering, like, am I not able to do the... Yeah, there's even instructions on the back, like, sort of laser engraved into this. Not crazy easy to see, but you can kind of see it in the right light there. Tells you exactly what to do. So, remove the screen by pressing lock while sliding the screen in the arrow direction. Okay, so I think up is this way. Let's get this plugged in. Be careful with the ribbon cable. So that is in. And then we'll just press that back inside, on, slide, done. Beautiful. It's got a lot more rotation than what I remember my X1 Carbon having. Did you remove screws or not in this model? I did not remove screws. I still need to. There's 3 that hold the bed down. I need to. Let's grab a tool. It's gonna be an M2. Let's see this guy. Yeah, it's got big red circles on it in the bed as well. I tell you to do this. I almost forgot. It does come with a textured sheet though. I'm excited to see that. And it's the same size as all the other sheets, so I think I can do my first upgrade here in a second. And then last one is all the way in the back. That one is always the toughest to get to because it's back behind the wall at the rear of the printer. So a ball-ended X key here would be fantastic, but we're able to get it with a standard. Just don't drop it. There we go. All right, bed is loose. No more zip ties, no more foam. Everything looks clear. We can do a top panel later. I don't want to block your guys' view too much. Let's move this into a place that makes sense. Sorry, I've got the camera on a very high angle today. It's really difficult to get this fully in frame with the setup that I have, so working with it here. All right, cable is okay. It's like 3.5 feet. I wish they would really ship printers with a 6-foot cable. I don't know why they continue to go with these smaller ones, but let's see if this reaches. If not, I'll have to grab a different one. It's not gonna reach. It's close, maybe? Hold on. Oh yeah, we can do it. It's like barely long enough. Just the angle that it's at and whatever. Barely long enough. Okay, so that's that. Let's turn her on. You wish they would ship printers to you? Mike, so do I. So do I. I would have loved to have this P2S, I don't know, 2 months ago when I was printing a whole bunch of stuff and I was out here for, I would get up. Oh, that's loud. It does all the noises that the H2D does. What English do we, what English? What language do we speak? I think it's English. Although not very well. I live in North America. Come on. And Wi-Fi. As much as I love you all, I don't want to share my Wi-Fi information with you, so I'm gonna turn this really quickly. And we'll put in that info and then we'll go from there. See if that connects. Hey, and we're good. Cloud access fail. Possible. Can we retry? There it is. And we'll get that on the phone. When am I upgrading it? Right now, here. As soon as we get the bed up, I can do it. Hoping to connect your Wi-Fi and save you some money. Yeah. Does this have the status light on the bed? It doesn't, Kevin. I wish it did. I can't see a status light on the bed, but I think I could put a Panda status on here. Assuming that, you know, it has the same connections and whatnot. I haven't opened up the back of it yet, but I want to. I want to see if I can do a Panda status on here. It already makes the noises of the H2D, so why not? Let me get this connected to the cloud here. Let's add, scan, and we'll bind that to my account. Might cover that QR. Oh, well, too late. Scan the QR code and name it Kevin. The car's extended warranty. Adding to your account, thanks, add the QR. Yeah, we'll do it in post. We'll do it in post. But look, I'm connected, so you can't anymore. Sign your life away, sure, do it. Do it. here we go. So this is why I didn't really want to do the screws, because I had a feeling that it would tell me to kind of do all of these checks and things. And so yeah, if you had not removed your screws already, it's going to tell you to do that. We did all 3. Now it's going to go through a 26-minute calibration. This reminds me, I'm having flashbacks right now of the Elegoo Centauri Carbon. 26 minutes of calibration. Well, it's not going to get shorter if we never start, so might as well go with it. Use the sound files from Redneck Rampage. I don't know what that is. What is Redneck Rampage? Yeah, I don't know that you can... Uh-oh. I don't know that you can edit sounds on this thing. I think whatever you get is what you got. It'd be cool to put different sounds on it like you can on a Windows machine or something. But I doubt that is open enough to be able to do it. Not without a lot of know-how. But it is very loud. I'll say that. So we'll take that one piece of foam out of there. And as far as upgrades go, I do have this unused, brand new Fadus purple plate. This arc fly plate. It's a cool plate for PLA. I assume it'll work. There you go. First upgrade done. Pretty, yeah. I like purple. I like purple, and it's got like a yellow logo stuff on there too. That's pretty nice. What else? There are some covers over the linear rods, so you don't get a bunch of filament scraps down inside there. You have a nice smooth ramp so you can brush things out. No need anymore, I guess, for a Panda diaper. Lead screws are basically the same. Bed looks the same. I need to get that aux fan over there, though. I didn't know that was a thing. Can you use Vision Miner on those cool plates? I don't know. I haven't tried yet. This is literally the first time I'm using it. I haven't even washed it, right? So we're just gonna go and see if it sticks. I do have some Vision Miner right down here, though, if we do need to add it. It's not a big deal. The fan looks a lot bigger on the tool head, though. I don't know what size that is, but I did notice that. And because this uses the same nozzles as the H2D, I have down here in my handy dandy H2D printed toolkit a bunch of extra nozzles, and one of them happens to be a high flow. Probably several of them, if I'm honest. Oh, I didn't print the latches for this thing yet, but I've got a used high flow nozzle that we can add in, but I have a couple of new ones too. I think we'll start with the used one, and we'll go from there. What was that? The sock looks different though. So this one is very square, and it goes with the nozzle. The one that's in here now is a more rounded looking version, so I hope this works. We'll try it out. We'll let it do its thing first. Cool, you have one, hadn't tried it, figured you'd screw it up. What do you mean? One side for experiments? Yeah. One side for experiments, one side for, you know, when you actually want to print stuff. It does say PLA on the container though, so I don't know if that means PLA only, or if I'm allowed to print other things on there. I don't really know. Let's check out the toolbox while we're waiting for this thing to do its motor noise cancellation. you're gonna go to a friend's and ask to borrow his. I mean, you can. Only one way to find out. Exactly right, John. Yeah, so in here, extra tools, a couple of Allen keys. There's a nozzle needle. This looks like some grease and some oil. There's a scraper, a couple screws. You get a new hot end sock. And this is what I meant. So this one's very rounded, and it's got a different pattern as compared to the one for the H2D, which is much more square. And so there's at least a difference in the sock from that perspective. I don't think that the nozzle is different though. I think it's the same, because that sock still fits on here. It's just much more slim, which is good. So we'll see what happens here in a second. Let this do its thing, and then we'll see if we swap out. And then lastly, you have that nozzle wiper as well. Improved over what they originally came with. This is like a silicone block that just slides down into your poop chute area on the printer, not yourself, not your area, the printer's area. And the nozzle can do like that and throw it across the room. Where does the oil go? The oil should go on the rods. So your your x-axis here, your y-axis here have linear rods. That's where your oil should go. And then your grease should go on the screw. So all your Z screws back here. Recommend you read the manual if you're unsure. And you don't have to use the bamboo grease. They give you a 3-gram tube of each one. So this is the grease. The black one is the grease. The green one is the oil. And you just kind of squeeze it on. I use my finger and just rub the grease through the lead screw. The oil, though, you got to be careful because it'll drip all over things. I usually remove my bed plate so I don't get any oil on the plate. That's going to cause your prints not to stick. So you don't want to touch the plate if you can help it, and you don't want to get oil on it, definitely. But yeah, pretty basic toolkit. Nothing spectacular in there. But everything you need to maintain the printer. We have other tools to do that. So what else do we want to talk about here? I think we should decide what we want to print first. Like, what do we want to do for our first print? Something that's like, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, something that we can use to test, but not print all day. Because this is not where the printer's going to live. I'm going to move it to its new home here in a second on top of a Panda station. It's basically going to take the place of where my X1 Carbon is currently. So the X1 Carbon is to my right over there on a Panda den, which is on top of a Panda station. Print the scraper handle. That's a good idea. I got some pink PLA up here that we can use. Guess you're gonna get out of bed. Might as well. It's almost noon. It's almost noon, you might as well. Oh, my other parts are done. So if you guys haven't seen the Panda station, I want to do a quick overview video on that. We'll post that to the channel later. I'm not ready to go. Yeah, there's still some editing to do, but it's a quick look at the Panda station. I posted a short about the station when I got it a month ago, and it has not... Ooh, why is the chat box so weird? And it has not been quiet. Like, I get questions every week. How does this work? How does that work? Can I see this? Can I see that? And I'm like, you know what? I should probably just do like a quick video overview of it. And so I need to post that at some point soon. You already had soup for lunch? I need to eat lunch. I'm still post-breakfast right now. When I was saying that Centauri Carbon is slow, apparently the next firmware release will make it faster on bed level and first setup. That's good to know, Dan. It took about 30 minutes to get through the Centauri Carbon one, from what I remember. And I'm gonna keep the sticker on the screen. You make it home last night. Nice printer, thanks, Zoid. Just unboxed it, so we'll get to play with it and do a first print here in a minute. Much respect for you streamer people. Yeah, streaming is not as press go as you would imagine it to be. Like, there's a certain amount of prep that you should probably do. There's some tech that you have to learn. There's some setup that you got to do. And especially if you want to do printing, right? So if you want to do a build, you got to make sure you got everything. You got to have your tools lined up for that. You have to make sure that you didn't miss a printed part, because that could be a showstopper for the stream. And so going back and make sure that you have everything in the BOM, all the parts printed in the correct color, at the correct spec, so that things actually work and they're not oversized, undersized. That's a lot of prep. So it's not just show up on stream and press play, but it is fun. I enjoy shooting the breeze and talking about printing and printers and building stuff. Press the like button, peeps. I just want to print. Just want to print. What I am going to do is give you a different view here so that I can move the overhead camera. And we'll get like a sort of a front view of the machine, so that when we do print, you have a good view of what's going on. So you get to look at me change things. But I'm gonna try to get this down low. You can see what's going on. Hope that's low enough. Now my toolbox cam, the one that I use to show the printer on when we're building and things like that, is attached to like a vertical mount that is adjustable. And I need to make, I don't know, some sort of overhead gantry system or something that I can attach this magic arm to be able to move different camera angles and things like that. It just hasn't been a priority. Let's take a look at what this looks like, and if we need to adjust, we can. Ooh, yeah, very different. But it's about as low of an angle as I'm gonna be able to get. Or if you do have a reverse drill bit, you have to make sure you don't snap a tap off. Yes, also that. Something that is what I would recommend, let me grab this. There's this stuff called Tap Magic. I think I have some over here. Yeah, here we go. This right here, Tap Magic, not sponsored, cutting fluid. Works great. So I got this on Amazon and it was pretty affordable, a few bucks, but it's like a nano fluid. I don't know what that means. But works great for drilling and tapping aluminum. So, highly recommend. Or you could use WD-40 or something, like you just need something to lubricate. Some of them are going to require more application than others. The Tap Magic, I just kind of line the tap with it and just go right in. It doesn't even matter. Or get lucky and snap it off in an easy to fix hole. Yeah. You just gotta go slow. So I don't do a drill tap. I do it by hand, which is tedious and slow and a lot of hand work. So if you have like arthritis and stuff like that, probably not the most fun thing to do, but it'll give you a better result. So you don't put too much force and snap things. It takes a long time. Or just save yourself all the heartache and order them pre-tapped. Pre-cut, pre-tapped. Will help you out. Excuse me. Yeah, but it's been a little bit. We're gonna build something with Steve on next week. Today is really just a chill stream to get back into it, kind of get the rhythm, talk about things and stuff because there's a lot going on in the hobby right now. And then next week we'll get back to the build. Hey Nadir, thanks for showing up. Good morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. Taking a look at the P2S today. So it's just doing its calibration right now. About 57% of the way through. Okay, so it looks like we did our individual motors, so X and then Y, and now it looks like it's calibrating them together. So going in the X direction here. That tap you were using had some hours on it. Yeah, that's the other thing. You gotta have good tools and sharp bits. Congrats for the sub. So it'll be like one said 1K till Xmas. Maybe that'd be awesome. We had just crusted 800. I'm seeing 812 on the count right now. So if we made it to 1,000 in the next 30 days, awesome. But I don't know. We'll see. That would be, you know, upwards of 188 people. I don't know that I've ever had a month where we had 188 subs in a month. I would love to see it. I don't know. I haven't seen it happen yet. So get out there and like and subscribe and share, and maybe that'll get us to 1,000. We'll see. We'll see. Can you guys hear that over the mic? Probably not, but it's very loud. The noise canceling, motor noise canceling on this thing. I'm amazed how big the cooling fan is though. Oh, you can hear it. Okay, you can hear it. Yeah, I don't think we have any noise canceling on. Yeah, I think the noise canceling I do have on is pretty low, and you can still hear it over top of that. I think only when I'm not speaking can it like come through, or maybe when I am speaking it comes through. I'm not sure. Kind of like a heart monitor, a little bit. Yeah, I want to see about getting this aux fan though. Let me see. Did not hear you sneeze though. Yeah, I muted. I didn't sneeze. I coughed. I got some water down the wrong hole, and I coughed. So I'm muted to be able to do that. Hey Tech Jeeper, happy Sunday. But yeah, so looking at this one, I got the normal. It says that it's got the cool air active venting, and I think that's just that side fan. But if I look in this picture pretty closely, it doesn't appear to have that aux fan on there. I wish I would have noticed that. Let's see if this P2, P1 combo, yeah, also not coming with an aux fan. So it looks like that's standard. Still not seeing a... Yeah, so I don't have the little brick in the back that would allow multiple AMSs. But I don't think I need it. If I just had like a Y splitter, I could add that to the filament intake tube and just connect it. I don't know if I need additional things. Yeah, so we get the swap nozzle, so I should be able, that looks exactly like the H2D nozzle. And the nozzles on the site are even saying that they are H2D P2S stuff. I really like the servo extruder though. That's gonna be nice. I enjoy it on the H2D. It'll tell you if something's clogged for sure. Cool. We have all the pictures and the things and the stuff. What else? Can I even get a aux fan? So that way we have two fans? Great. Excited for the better camera. I hope it's the one from the H2D. The one on the H2D is fantastic. Works great for all kinds of things. Time lapses are okay. Like you have to go in and edit a little bit, maybe brighten it a little, depending on how your ambient lighting is and if the top cover is covered or not. AMS2 is great. Yeah, so this is the part I don't have, is the built-in 2-in-1 buffer. But I didn't get the AMS combo. So maybe it only comes with the combo? So maybe you have to get one of those if I want to add an AMS onto this. Spool holder. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything also that says the spool holder is on the opposite side. And of course now it's doing this vibration stuff, which is crazy loud. All right, Nathan, we'll see you, buddy. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out for a little while. Yeah, I don't see it. I did get this enhanced tooling fan upgrade for, can you hear that? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty loud. I did get this upgraded cooling fan for the H2D though. If you don't know about this one, this is from the H2C, Charlie. That, it comes with that. But this one is supposed to be able to cool your hot ends a little better, to keep them from getting too warm and having filament clog in the nozzle. So I did add this onto my H2C. It was only 40 bucks, showed up in a couple days. So that was an update. And then what was something else? I got some of these tungsten nozzles. We got the high flow version here for the H2D. And this is what made me think that the H2D uses the same nozzles as the P2. Because if I come through, like, you can select your different model, but I don't know what the difference is. They all look the same. Yeah, that is very high-pitched. Oh, firmware release. So your firmware is not going to recognize it until some point here, hopefully this quarter. We'll see. I don't have a C. I have a D. I have a Delta, but I put the C fan cover on there because it's supposed to work. And it does recognize it. The machine does recognize it. It's also got like a little status bar that goes across the top. So we go back to where I was, not this one. Yeah, it's got this little white status bar across the top here. And that status bar is supposed to show progress or whatever. Or no, not progress. Fan speed. Fan speed, I think it is. And the install is super easy. It literally is plugging in the top of the print head right there and then clip it onto the front like something normal. Yeah, like there's a little port that I never noticed. You just undo the little flap, plug it in, and it works. So we'll see if it does anything, makes a difference. I don't know. I didn't really get clogs on my H2C, but sorry, H2D, but the sometimes if you have PLA and like loaded in and you're printing with ABS, it will clog that additional nozzle because the chamber heats up and things like that and makes the PLA soft. So I'm hoping this will maybe prevent it. I don't know. The machine yells at you anyway. I just ignored it once and gave myself about an hour of pain. How I've been liking it. I have been loving it. I've got nearly 2,000 hours on it. I've had it since April. I don't print on it every day, but a couple of times a week I will. So between that, my X1 carbon, the FL Sun, and some of the borons over there, I can print a lot. The H2D gets a lot of love on the multicolor front. So right now, just shy of 2,000 hours. And I've got no complaints. Great machine for multicolor stuff. Handles ABS well. PPS carbon fiber, if I need to do it. It's the only machine I have that can print PPS carbon fiber. So the effector for the Delta Flyer that we're going to build next week, the effector is printed from PPS carbon fiber, and so are the fan ducts. And that's to just get away from any of the heat that the hot end might be introducing, and I don't want to get melty parts and melty fan ducts. So PPS is the way to go. And yeah, so I ended up getting this, I don't want to say warning, but like this info note at the bottom that said the fan module was installed. So it looks like the H2D can take it. And it says up here, will be fully supported in 26 with different firmware. I don't know what that firmware is or what it does, but it's on the printer. And whenever that update comes, it'll be just fine. The only thing I don't like about it, Tulsa Skin, is on the H2D, you have to use Bamboo Studio. Like, I love Orca Slicer, and I would love to just send files from Orca Slicer, but that got broken 6 months ago or whatever it was, where Bamboo changed things and locked people out. But I really do like Orca, and I wish I could just use that for everything. In the meantime, that reminds me, let's see if I can add this P2S to the... That's loud as hell. Yeah. We all knew it was coming, and I think a lot of people were a little upset about that. But what can you do? When you're in a closed ecosystem like that, the company can make changes, and you'll be impacted positively or negatively in sometimes. We don't want to edit this thing, we want to add one, so let's do that button. That part does suck. You have 3 different slicers. Yeah, Orca is good for most things. It's only like the Bamboo and some of the other stuff where it won't talk. I think it even can accept input from Prusa, and I think it can do, I'm pretty sure it can do rat rig as well. Yeah, so looking at Orca now, there's a pop-up menu you guys can't see. It allows you to add an H2D, but I think you have to then export that G code to the SD card, or the, I'm sorry, the thumb drive, and then go insert that into the printer, and then you're able to print those files. But that takes a lot of the easy button out of it. Prusa, Bamboo, and Orca? Yeah. I think you can use Orca on your Prusas, though. I don't think you have to use Prusa Slicer. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you can use that. At least Bamboo uses an Orca fork, and not like force you to use Cura. Cura. Haven't heard that in a long time. Yeah, so I can't even add in a P2S. So we're probably gonna have to do use Bamboo Studio. That's okay. Once that comes up, we'll do it. You can just send to printer, I believe, and then start the print on the printer. I'll try it. We'll see. We'll try it later. My chat box is messed up somehow. Hit send to printer and then start on printer. Orca was forked from Bamboo. Yeah, I think it probably was. But it incorporates features from Cura and from Prusa Slicer. Things like, I don't know, modifiers and some of the primitives that you can add, things like that. Those came from other slicers. And so these different ideas have gotten pulled into it. And they're pretty good. I like them. The one that I've been playing with recently is ironing on supports. So if you have ever used supports, you know that sometimes they can get embedded into the print and just become really difficult to remove. And so Orca Slicer now has a feature where you can iron that top layer of support where it meets your model to smooth it out, causing the print to be less likely to bond to those supports. I've had mixed success. Let me switch this over to the other one. Where is it? Maybe we have to go away from it and come back. So this is done. Let's sort of move this around a little bit. Let's go here. So we can back this up, get you a better shot. Wish that door went out of the way fully. Make sure we're still on the bench, and we are. Get rid of the glare. You can see my face. That's good. Well, we'll take the glare out of it and see if we can get a good print here. So we'll get started. Gonna open this up. Ooh, there's no door detection on here. So on my H2D, when I open the door, this little guy gets like the sad face. That's not the case on the P2S. Interesting. Good morning, Ref. You offer anything that makes supports suck less. Agreed. I try not to use supports at all anyway, but in the instance that we have to, then we have to. Thanks for the sub, Maker Viking. That's because the HUD has laser support if you have to have door sensors. It's also on the X1 Carbon. There's no laser on that. Hey, Captain Kern. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for the raid. Appreciate you all stopping by. We're taking a look at, we had just unboxed the P2S. And so we're going to do a first print here and see what happens. We've already done the first upgrade with the Arcfly plate from Fadus. And then we're looking for something to print. So the suggestion was that we print the scraper. But I'm noticing there's also the tool holder in here. I'm sorry, the spool holder in here. And then you've got Bambu Lab spools you can print. So if you do your own refills, there's a bed scraper, that's 12 minutes. There's a vase in here. Some of the stuff is common on other Bambu Lab machines. There's even a little dino puzzle in there. That's cool. But it did come with a couple of blades. So maybe we do... maybe we do the scraper later because that's an hour-and-a-half print. The scraper alone is an hour 7, so let's do this guy. Bed leveling and flow calibration is in auto mode now. Click to learn more. I clicked it. I'm not learning anymore. Let's see what advanced operations. Okay, so auto for those things. Very cool. We've got no filament loaded though, so I'll probably need to do that. What color should we make this thing? X1C has a door sensor. Never seen it on my tube, but maybe it was the first thing you shut off. Yeah, there's a door sensor. I think it just tells you. It doesn't really stop you or anything. For the H2D, it will stop the machine. There's a method for that if you want to enable it. But the X1 Carbon does supposedly have a door sensor. So I've got this really old spool of Hatchbox orange. I'm going to throw that in there. We'll get some orange on a purple plate. I think that'll look pretty good. Oh man, it's pretty brittle too. I've had this for a while. Let's see if it actually is going to work. Uh-oh. So I tried to put it through there, but there's no angled tip on the filament. So let's cut this and see if we can get that to go through. It just didn't want to feed. There we go. Yeah, there's a little bit of a lip on the entry between the two PTFE tubes, the one inside the machine and the one outside. A little bit of a lip there that it was catching on. So we probably need to load some filament first. Yeah, let's get this a little bit better this way. There we go. External, we'll make this edit. It'll be generic. PLA is fine. We'll make it orange and use the default setting. Interface is the same as the H2D and the now X1 Carbon. If you've updated, you've got the new stuff. Man, so many new people in. Thanks for dropping in, folks. Need to close this one, and we'll close this one. And we'll get Bambu open. Oh, I gotta log in again? Okay, fine. Oh, there's a new Bambu. We gotta download that too. So behind. But we have it loaded in. Trying to just get the slicer set up behind the scenes here so we can actually print on this thing. So let's do this, and we'll say load, and let that pull in the filament. It's so loud. I can't get over that. It's probably because the glass is off the top too, so the noise is not being buffered by anything. But it's so loud. Hey, Acres Links, good morning. I'm glad that YouTube decided to fix the names, so I'm actually able to keep track of who I'm talking to. When they changed everything a couple of months ago and everybody's name was different, now we have like all these numbers in there, I had no idea who people were. But we are coming up to the 2-hour mark as well, so if you have not gotten into the filament giveaway, go ahead and click the pinned link at the top of the chat. That's going to be taking you over to a form that you can put in your information so that we can look at what our winner is going to be for today. Let's see, did we extrude? Not yet. Let's try it again. I feel it taking the filament, but there's nothing in there yet, so there's nothing coming out. We'll hit yes this time and see what can happen. Let's see how good we can make this. And I'll tell you what, we'll move this camera down a little bit more as well. See how low I can make this thing. That's about it there. I think we could see it printing when it goes. I could make a more serious adjustment, but it would make everybody sick, and I don't want to do that. Doing Uncle Jesse on its out? No, I didn't. It's just, it's sitting over here. Come on, Hammer. It's right here. It's still in the packaging. I just didn't put it on yet. I don't want to do an Uncle Jesse on the top. But did you see his most recent video with the Moab? With the Moab blaster? It's a fully 3D printed blaster, but it's a chain gun, and it's got a backpack full of darts. It's like 1,000 darts. Martin, good morning. Definitely cutting into your live stream watching. Good morning. YouTube didn't change the @handle names. You can edit your handle to match profile name. Probably more correct. Probably more correct. So maybe folks just didn't do that. And so when YouTube made it mandatory for everybody to have the new name, the handle name, people got caught off guard. Yeah, the thing is insane. Yeah, I was like, man, I want to print one. But when he said that the parts alone before printing was like $400 and something, and I think Zombie covered it as well on Twitch, where going through the cost of what it is to get one fully assembled was like $5,000, but $400 in parts plus another couple hundred in filament, and then your time, and then your darts and all the other things. It's not a cheap fun toy. Not a cheap fun toy. All right, we got the updated slicer now, so maybe this will allow me to have access to the P2S. Just 1 second, bear with me. Only 37 responses in the filament giveaway, though. You guys have a good chance of winning some stuff today. Let me get over here. Yes. 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 Sorry, the window that I want to go to is not pulling in Bamboo Studio like it should. It's their first time loading, so it's trying to come up. I had to sign back in and everything. Bamboo Studio did an update the other day, and I didn't update it on this machine yet. So it just takes a while to get there. Bringing in all my presets, and because I have 25 different machines, it takes it a minute. But someone was saying that they're jealous that there's a P2S over here. You don't have to be jealous. They're only $549 right now. You can go get one. They're available in the States. Great. Now here we go. Let's move this window over here. All right. So X1 Carbon, let's add in here a P2S. You are not alone. You have 15 printers and 1 under construction. You need therapy, and I thought this was therapy. A bit nuts, I'm with you. I have 25. 12, about half of them work. The other 12-ish are in flux. They are a work in progress. So I feel your pain on a slightly larger scale. It does not get better. There's you, another build offer. Yeah, I would love to do another build. Oh, sorry, I missed it. Am I willing to build an MMX? I will donate it for the raffle you are doing. Nadir, I would love to build an MMX. I'm not doing a raffle though. Our raffle was 2 weeks ago, where we gave away a couple of printers, a bunch of filament. It was a pretty fun community stream, sort of a chat and chill, raffling a bunch of stuff. So I would not be able to raffle it until we do another one. But yeah, I would love to build an MMX. I think that's sort of like a standalone. I'm familiar with it, but not intimately. I think it's a standalone, sort of like a rabbit carrot feeder or MMU3, something like that. Am I right? Be hard to buy stuff when you're disabled and on a limited income. Yes, Icarus Links, feel you there. Some of us are just irresponsible with our income. All right, we've got that added. Let's see. Cool, no real changes. We get the standard nozzle, but there's the option for the high flow if I want it. Works on any Clipper-based printer. Well, I have several, Nadir. I would love to take you up on that. Just reach out to me on Discord or whatever makes sense for you, and we'll figure it out. Got the generic PLA. It's going to be orange. Okay. And I mean, the filament's already loaded and it's external, and we don't have a... I need to rename this. Let's rename this P2S. Here we go. Hey, look at that. Hi. Hi. Using happy hair. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I've got a box turtle ×2. There's a night owl around here somewhere. I'm really excited about the open AMS stuff. I've seen a couple of bits of information where you can purchase boards to replace the one in your AMS, which unlocks it to be used on any Clipper-based machine. I haven't gone down that road yet, but yeah. So yeah, looks like we're working. Let's see if we can print a thing. I'm going to print that scraper from the screen over here. And while that goes, we'll shoot the breeze, I suppose. All right, there we go. Tool head is at 60-ish Celsius. While it yells at me, I got to turn that off. I am seeing on the screen now that there's a little bit of maybe a door sensor in here. Yeah, check it out. So Tech Cheaper, we were just talking about this. The H2D has it, but this little guy right here, he gets sad when the door's open. And so if I were to touch that, here, let me move this really quick. If I were to touch this, it takes me over and says the front door is open. And then there's a QR code for you to scan, like you could actually do it. Like just close the door if you're worried about it, right? But yeah, there's a thing. So I guess there is a door sensor. Did I update the firmware yet? I did not. It didn't tell me to. Oh, I see it on there, but it didn't yell at me or anything. Usually it'll pop up. Should we stop it and try it again? Might as well, yeah. So just cancel that. And I'm gonna keep the bed hot. Let's update some firmware. Takes forever? What? Slow? How long does it take? Is it like 10 minutes? Don't tell me that. Let's see, firmware. 20 to 30 minutes. No, I think we'll press forward with our print here. We'll press forward with the print and we'll go from there. Longer? 20 to 30 minutes? plan to buy... Stop yelling at me. I plan to buy my first 3D printer during the holiday discount season. Congratulations. You're listening to all advice I want to buy. Just an entry level with engineering filament capabilities. Thoughts? I would say, what does your budget allow? Your budget is going to be the deciding factor, I think. Let me close this door. And I'm gonna put the top hat on too. I don't want this loud thing yelling. So depending on your budget is really what you should be looking at. If you're brand new, you don't really know what to do, and you want something that is just easy to use, consider something like what we're looking at today. It's $550 for the model I have here. I think it's $800 if you want the multicolor system that comes with it. There are other options, but they are, in my opinion, less user-friendly, and the software isn't as nice to use. This is sort of like the Apple of 3D printers. It very much controls what you can do. It just works. It just prints. That's not to say you won't have problems. Every machine has a problem. But this is something to consider. Also, uh-oh, we have an error. Also, the size you have to consider. So Bamboo does have smaller machines. There are other small machines that work well. And so this plate's not gonna work. Let's put the OG back on. And so you might want to consider some of those. Things like Anycubic come to mind. Creality is another one of those that are pretty popular, and they have some multicolor type systems. They're improving, they're getting better, but for my money, if it were me and I were brand new, I'd probably just get one of these and learn. It's going to make your life a lot easier, especially if you're not into upgrading and you just want a tool. This one is just easier. It's like the X tool of 3D printers. Why did it not like the plate? So the QR codes that are on the plates tell the printer what plate it is, and so we sliced it for a texture plate. So if we go back to the prepare, we have this texture plate up here, and so I did not select anything different. So we could do cool plate or smooth PEI. I didn't. I'm just printing directly from the device, so directly from the machine itself, and it turns out that that was sliced for the textured plate. The QR code that's on the plate that you can see sort of right here does not match the purple plate, and so it threw an error. And that's to save you, right? Because it will adjust your Z offset a little closer for something that is textured, so that it really presses into the texture of the plate, and something smoother, maybe it's a little further away. So Bamboo is one of the only ones that do that. So let's put this top plate on here. I don't want to hear this thing yelling at me the whole time. Ooh, that's so much quieter. And it's got the internal fan too, so it should be recycling air to cool things, and we should be able to print with the door closed. Every time you modify one of your other printers, the mod makes it better. Every time you mod your X1 carbon, it makes it worse. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. The mods I've done on mine are very basic. They're a panda status bar across the front to make it give me lights, like the H2D, so it'll warn me what's going on. There's a chamber heater in there. I've got an E3D hot end in there, high flow, obsidian. There is, what else? I've got the Panda claw, the Panda extruder, and that's it as far as like modifications. I did try out the OnePlus firmware on it for a while, about a year, but I don't really know what happened with those guys. Like, it was a hot thing. It came out, I put it on. I think there were 1 or 2 updates, and then there were like no firmware updates for like a year. But here's Bamboo coming out with motor noise cancellation and a bunch of other things, and I couldn't see the value in X1 Plus firmware anymore. So I removed it, went back to stock, and that's what I've been running since. I may end up going back to it, especially now that we have the P2S, this can take the place of just like the generic off-the-shelf workhorse printer, and we could play a little more with the X1 Carbon. I do have some other updates for it. I've got the Panda Turbo I still need to do. We've got this Panda Jetpack over here that I still need to do. So this whole system needs to go on, and there's some other things. So it's going to be sort of a little bit of a toy to test out some stuff. And the P2S will kind of take the place as the workhorse. A bit nuts. You said you had 12-ish printers. What is sort of like the makeup? Are they all the same? Do you have different printers? Like, what does that look like? Sorry, Nadir, I'm just catching up with your message here. Is it the best is to buy the Anycubic Ace and install on any Clipper machine with just a Python script? It has a dryer. There you go. Zombie says longer. Not great, but you're breathing at least. Breathing is good. Core 1 kit, yep. So that's another one. The Prusa Core 1 is a good build, but it's expensive. It's, again, what's your budget? Very nice, and Prusa is now on Amazon. There you go. Thomas, just getting to your message. Sorry. Hello, 3D printer people. Hello. Welcome to the stream. This is going now. I think we could probably just give away some filament and talk about things and stuff while this is going. What do you think? Who wants some filament? All those that popped in from Captain Kern Makes in his stream, if you haven't gotten into the giveaway, should probably do that. No, they're different. You have everything from a Prusa XL, nice, to a Elegoo Centauri. SV08, building a VCore 400, nice, dude. Yeah, it sounds like you're a lot like me. So I don't have a Prusa XL. That one is a little more than I care to spend. I did have a Centauri Carbon for a while. A very short while, only about 2 weeks. My buddy needed a printer, wanted a printer. I had a Carbon. I sold it to him. SV08 I've also never tried. But I do have a VCore 300, and it had IDEX for a little bit. I didn't like the IDEX, removed it, and so now it's just a hybrid 300. That's over here to my left on the floor next to the H2D. But there are Vorons over here. There's a LH Stinger, Creality, some bamboo stuff. There's a Delta ×2, Mellow M1, Positron. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of random stuff. But I'm seeing 41 responses now, so while this goes, I'm gonna get set up behind the scenes. If you want filament and you are not in here, this is US only. Disclaimer, US only for shipping reasons. I need you to go in and sign up for the giveaway. I just need an email address so I know how to pass your info to Jason, and then your YouTube name so that when we draw, we know who we're drawing for. So we'll get over to Wheel of Names here and make it clean. You guys have about, I don't know, we'll call it 30 seconds to get in. Filament would be lovely. Well, Tulsa Skin, get in there, man. Get in there and we'll see if you can make you a winner today. And then it reports it all back to Beijing. Yeah. Reports it all back to Beijing. All your data goes somewhere. Tricking out the rat rig. Mandala everything. Kraken Motors, Octopus. Yes. So I have the full suite of Mandala Roseworks stuff on my 300. So the bed arms, the XY joiners, the everything. The whole kit. I've got it on there. I've got the Kraken main board. I don't have the. I have motors. I didn't install them. Did not install them. And the Kraken main board has 5160s like built into it, so it can do 48 volt. I've removed that. I don't see a need for 48 volt on a 300mm machine, so I haven't done that. But I am curious about what the upgraded rails that you're using. That'd be cool. Sorry, I'm still trying to catch up with chat. I got a little behind there. All right, so time is up. I give you guys a whole extra minute to get in. We're gonna close that giveaway. I just bought the CNC tool head. I have not seen that. I have not seen that. I did see one that Mello has. Mello has a CNC tool head, but I didn't see that on Mandala. All right, giveaway is closed. If you did not get in there, sorry. You'll have to come back next week and we'll do it again. John made it. Nice, man. Just under the wire. Rebuilding the 2.4. Good thing the Z drive failed. Oh. When you say it failed, in what way? Like the plastic failed or the motor failed? All right, I'm seeing 44 responses. All right, let me get all these names over here, and then we'll start this jam. Ooh, GTR Dad got it wrong. He said Bic Smooth Flow is a printer. Might have to remove you, sir. Check your grub screws. That'll do it. Not only check your grub screws, but make sure you Loctite your grub screws with blue Loctite, not red. That's also a learning experience. So one of the questions on the filament giveaway was, what is the longest single print you've done? Somebody said 72 hours with Pet G. That's from Tin Talon. 96 hours from Palm X. R2 Dome. Skyrim. 82 hours from Pathetic Puma. Birdman Anyway says he printed a Titanic. 192 hours from Tech Huskies. Wow. I think that takes the cake. 192 hours. That can't be all in like one though, yeah? Like that's multiple pieces, multiple parts. Unless you're printing on like a meter. 72 hour was ASA. Holy Christmas. Grub screw, is it a European term? Oh, they had the pre-applied blue stuff. Yeah, I always add more. Loctite red. Yeah, I'll make sure it doesn't come out. GTR is obviously AI. One part 27, but the project was over 100 hours. Nice, Da Vinci. Oh, a belt printer. Forgot about those. They do exist. I saw something that I think it was Ideaformer is either updating or releasing a new version of their belt printer. I saw an ad for it pop up the other day on I think Instagram for me, and quickly scrolled past. 24 hours is your max. I think I'm in the 30-ish, mid 30 hour range. I had a very big print that I did that was multicolor, and yeah, it took a long time. A lot of waste. I was not happy about that. The original Enterprise you did took over 100 hours on an Ender 3, 6 foot long at 0.18. That's just asking for pain. Look at that. Our print is done just in time to be able to get our filament giveaway going. Let's check this thing out. Just a simple little scraper. A little 20-minute print. Came out okay. Sorry, the lighting is weird today. It's very gloomy and dark outside, and so we don't have the garage door open. Yeah, a little simple scraper there. Came out with bamboo quality. If you're familiar, you know. Hard to see with this orange. It's very bright. But yeah, acceptable. Let's give away some filament. Let me copy these names down here and move this over to a window you can see. And then get you over to that page. And we'll turn off that because it's broken today. Now, how will I scrape it off? I just pulled it off. It came right off. Your 85X jingles like your wife's Samsung washer? Ours do the same. We have Samsung washers and they sing to you. You have an Ideaformer IR3V2. That's a lot of words. It mostly works. That's good. That's good. It mostly works. You won't do an overnight multi-day AMS MMU print. Why not? Do you not trust your printer, or are you just nervous about something going wrong? You definitely have to have the right machine, though. I'm in agreement with you, Robin B, there, that if your machine is not reliable enough to let it go for a little while unattended, and it constantly fails or something like that, you can end up wasting a lot of stuff and actually breaking your machine. Yours too, first time it was, what the hell was that? Yes. Not only that, we had a fridge, not anymore, but we had a fridge that would do the same thing. All right, that's in the trash. All right, we've got folks' names in here. The box turtle specifically just increases the risk of failure, and even though you've not had any issues, you don't want to risk it. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that having a filament cutter with a retraction and a purging stuff, like, that can get a little complicated. I get it. And a battery backup. Yep. If you're in a place that experiences a lot of blackouts, battery backup is helpful. All right. I don't know how we ended up with 67 in here, but I was only counting 44. How many times are we going to shuffle this thing, guys? You get a blob of death on the marginal printers? You do. And then you got to replace hot ends and potentially entire tool heads. Not good. Oh, and I just realized, too, that I had no poop chute on the back of this thing, so that went behind the workbench. I'll have to fish that out later. -1. Love it. -1. Is that where I just remove your name from the list? 7. 7's my favorite number, too. 4, question mark. 6. Actually, let me go back and see who had the longest print. Where's that 192-hour print? I don't even know what that was, but it was Tech Huskies. Tech Huskies, if you're still here, what number should we spin for? How many times should we shuffle this thing? 4 for the number of hours you slept. Mike, I appreciate you hanging out regardless, man. I think I'm in the same boat. I got about 4.5, maybe 5 last night. So I'm with you. It's just tough sleeping some days. My shoulders are really killing me, especially this left one. I dislocated this in 2013, and sometimes when it's cold out and things like that, it gets really achy, and it's been achy since yesterday. 102 hours could have printed a car. Missed the giveaway. Good luck, everyone. Yeah, sorry, Dan. Yeah, you popped in, man. Like, you should have just put your name in there. Try to draw out the 2-hour mark. We're roughly at the 2.5, so human barometer. Yeah, no lie. The give is going? Yeah. Can never answer how long as you forget the times. Yeah. That's why I like Clipper. If you go into your history on Clipper, it'll show you like your total history time. It'll also tell you some data on what your longest print was and things like that. You have enough? You want to see others win? Fair enough. I have enough as well, which is why I like giving it away. Okay. I think we'll go with 7. I don't know if Tech Huskies is still around to answer the question, so we'll go with 7. And then Skull Army says 4. We'll add 4 on. There you go. And good luck, everyone. We'll see who takes this home today. Who's it gonna be? DIY Maker Mindset, are you here? You're gonna be the winner today. That's how you was. You could not remember, you know, you had some long ones. I've definitely had some long prints. DIY Maker Mindset, you have about a minute. You got 75 seconds to tag me in chat. There he is. Okay, I see you. DIY Maker Mindset, congratulations. I'm going to pass off your email over to Jason at LDO and the team, and they are going to be in contact with you to get your address and phone number so that they can ship you a spool of LDO filament. I'm not sure if you get to choose colors, so when they reach out to you, just ask, okay? Congratulations. Close enough to make your mind Nexus. Yeah, very good. Very, very good. You win in spirit. If only it worked that way. If only I could spirit you a spool of filament, I would definitely do it. Yeah, so that's kind of the recap of what's been going on. Great warm-up stream, great chat today. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transition the rest of this stream over to a members-only stream, because that's something you could do now. And we're going to take a look at what came in the mail for our members. If you want to know about what that is, go ahead and like and subscribe. And then if you choose, you can become a member and see what we're working on the member stream. I'll give you a hint. It's a salad fork, kind of. You didn't have those extra for shuffles, you wouldn't have won. There you go. There you go. All right, Tin Town, see you guys on Sunday. So for those that are not members and don't want to become a member and hang around for the next maybe 10 or 15 minutes, all well and fine. Appreciate the support anyway. Drop a like on your way out. We're going to transition over to a member stream now, and we'll be back at about 7:30, 7:45 next week, Sunday, working on a Delta Flyer. So hope to see you there. For all of the members, I'll have you guys hang out for a second. I'm going to transition over to a members only stream, and I'll show you guys what we're going to be working on together. So let me get over there and do that. And so for those that are leaving, bye, love you, have a great weekend, enjoy your week. If I don't see you or talk to you before Thanksgiving, enjoy your families, have a great holiday, and we'll see you guys on Sunday, okay? Bye to all of you. See you, zombie.